You're watching Cakeland. This is Cake News.
After more than 2 months, Wichita police make an arrest in a deadly crash. And an East Wichita shooting that injured a man is under investigation.
It's crazy cold. It's freezing.
It's brutal. If you're going toward the north, you're in trouble.
And the bitter cold hits Cakeland and much of the rest of the country. We take a look at the dangers of tonight's cold weather. Good evening, everyone. Several school districts have taken heed to the cold weather and canceled school for tomorrow, but not Wichita Public Schools, not Wichita. The decision has lots of parents puzzled. Erica says, "This is dangerous. My children will not be going." And Kelly writes, "That's unbelievable and ridiculous. The cold is insanely dangerous for little ones. They should have canceled. One more day off is not going to harm anyone." Well, let's get over to Ben Pringle to find out just how cold it will be in the morning.
Well, I like that one statement of crazy cold. And, of course, that's what we had through the day today. We also had a couple of flurries flying here and there at times this afternoon. Wanted to show you that any flurries that were out there are long gone now. And, of course, it's all going to be about the cold temperatures the rest of the night. 4 degrees in Wichita, 5 in Hutch. It's 3 in Salina, single digits for the most part out west, 11 in Dodge, the one exception. 3 degrees below zero right now in Goodland. Here's the wind chills. We already have sub-zero double digits through north central portions of our state. It feels like 7 below right now in Wichita. So we do have wind chill advisories in effect for most of Cakeland. We've actually added a wind chill warning for the northwestern part of our state as well as through northeastern Kansas. These are in effect through early tomorrow morning when it looks like we're probably going to have wind chill index numbers between 15 and 25 degrees below zero to start the day Monday. An actual low temperature of around 4 here in Wichita with clearing skies. We are going to warm, but of course it's still going to be quite chilly despite sunshine, only up into the low to mid-teens for afternoon highs. Believe it or not, that will not be a record low for us, just another cold night. It does look like these afternoon highs will warm fairly dramatically as we head towards the middle of the week. More on that here in just a bit. Mike?
All right, thank you, Ben. By tomorrow morning, it will be below freezing, as Ben mentioned, across the state, the coldest it's been this winter. Kake's Parrish Allman is live now with a warning from doctors on how to stay healthy and safe in sub-zero weather. Parrish.
Mike, I spoke with an emergency room doctor, and he says in weather like this, they will see a lot of hypothermia, even frostbite cases coming into the ER. And he says usually those patients are people who were caught unprepared for the cold or were not properly dressed. The high temperature didn't even break 20, but people in Wichita were already fed up with the freeze.
It's brutal.
It's freezing.
It's only going to get worse, too, as the temperatures drop overnight below zero. Some have concerns about the cold.
Frostbite. Ears and fingers and toes.
Dr. Matt Boutros says there's good reason to worry about frostbite and hypothermia.
If it's really cold, you can develop frostbite within, 15, 20 minutes if you're outside.
Dr. Boutros says to stay warm and safe in sub-zero weather, first, bundle up, cover your nose, ears, fingers, and toes. Secondly, pay attention to frostbite warning signs.
The first thing that you'll notice is numbness and tingling, and then pain. Once you start experiencing pain, you know that that's time to get inside or time to warm things up.
Once the pain goes away, that's when Dr. Boutros says frostbite sets in and can do serious damage. He says also talk to kids who will be waiting at bus stops, walking to school, or outside at all.
Just warn them that if they start having a lot of pain, to either come back home and warm them up, or make sure that when they get to school, if they're having any pain at all, to notify their teacher.
The doctor told us there are some people who are at higher risk and should try to stay inside tomorrow if possible. Those are the elderly and anyone with diabetes or circulation problems. For everyone else, he says, as long as you wear layers, cover up your toes, ears, nose, and fingers, you should be just fine. Cold, but fine. For now, we're live in Northwest Wichita. Parrish Allman, Cake News.
All right, get inside, Parrish. We are not the only ones dealing with frigid weather. In fact, some parts of the U.S. are dealing with temperatures not seen in decades. The record-breaking cold causing schools to close tomorrow in several states. And as Larry Jacobs reports, another Arctic blast is on the way.
It's cold outside, and it just keeps getting colder and more dangerous. Officials are investigating a fiery crash landing at a snowy airport in Aspen, Colorado. One person was killed and 2 others injured when this private jet came down, flipped over, and burst into flames.
It was doing this, and then it hit and flipped, and there was smoke, and it had big ball flames.
No one was hurt when this Spirit Airlines flight skidded off the runway at Chicago's O'Hare, or this Delta jet slid off a taxiway at New York's JFK, or...
Mayday, 09 Juliet, we're losing engine. Tower, 09 Juliet, we're losing engine power.
This pilot was forced to land on a snow-lined Bronx expressway. Another major snowstorm is pounding the Midwest, almost a foot of the white stuff in Chicago.
These are extremely dangerous conditions, and we strongly urge people to heed the warnings and take the necessary precautions to stay safe.
That's why schools are closed Monday in the Windy City and throughout the Midwest. Snow, ice, and freezing rain also wreaked havoc on the roads. Parts of the country are going to get hit with some of the coldest weather in decades, with wind chills plunging far below zero from one end of the country to the other. And there's nothing people could do except bundle up and ride it out. Larry Jacobs, ABC News, New York.
And for an updated list of school closings and delays, or to check weather anytime, just go to KAKE.com. New details tonight on a shooting in East Wichita. Police found the victim shot in the arm inside a car, and they say they do not believe the victim, and witnesses are sharing the full story. The incident began near Beachy and Vincent Streets near 9th and Woodlawn just before 5 p.m. Police say they got several calls from people in the area about a shooting. Witnesses told police that they were in an argument with a man in the street who then ran up to them and fired.
I think there's more to the story. So we're trying to find the scene, and that'll probably help us out a lot once we can find the scene. But I don't believe we're getting everything at this point in time.
The victim was taken to the hospital with potentially serious injuries, but it was later learned that his injuries were minor and he may have been released already. We also have new details on an October crash in Wichita that killed a woman. Police have arrested the man that they've been looking for, Javier Rizzo. Rizzo, who was a suspect in a 2007 murder case, was believed to be the driver in a high-speed chase that ended in a crash near 24th and Arkansas, killing 34-year-old Maria Martinez. More information is expected during tomorrow's police briefing.